Hello and welcome to another edition of The Eagle. My name is Aisha Gambari, and as usual on this program, Aisha Mohammed will be presenting with me. Hello Aisha.
Hi Aisha. And to our wonderful audience, I say thank you for keeping a date with us today.
In this edition, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, inaugurated a committee to reposition the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU.
The Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund, NSITF, pledges support for the EFCC, just as Nigerian youth throw their weight behind Magu-led EFCC.
Also today is a repeat of our special documentary showcasing the trend of supporters club who will besiege cut premises in solidarity with persons indicted for corruption. We'll begin with the inauguration ceremony of the committee to reposition the NFIU. The inauguration ceremony took place at the EFCC headquarters in Abuja. Zainab Sani Ahmed will bring you this after this break. Don't go away.
Imagine a society where everything works. Durable road networks, stable electricity supply, portable water, well-equipped and functional healthcare facilities, quality education for all, affordable housing schemes, social security benefits, job creation, and a lot more that makes life comfortable to live. That is an ideal society. We can only achieve these if we all play our part. Say no to corruption to enjoy these benefits. Kill corruption to save Nigeria. This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
According to the acting chairman EFCC Ibrahim Magu, the decision to set up the committee came on the heels of the recent suspension of the NFIU from the Edmond Group of Financial Intelligence Units. Magu said the committee is expected to ensure and recommend necessary strategies to reposition the NFIU for effectiveness and improved service delivery. He noted that membership of the Edmond Group was critical to Nigeria's effort to tackle money laundering and monitoring of financial flows within and outside the country, which is why the reposition of the NFIU at this time is imperative. Dr. Abdullahi, while appreciating the consideration of making him the chairman of the committee, said Nigeria was the first country in Africa to enact legislation against money laundering and spearheaded the anti-corruption money laundering efforts of GIABA in Africa. He said for the country not to lose its position, all hands must be on deck in addressing the issues leading to the NFIU's suspension from the Edmond Group.
One of the difficult issues I had when I was Director General of GIABA was this issue of the autonomy of the NFIU. When I made my first speech at the plenary when I took over as Director General of GIABA, I projected a positive image of Nigeria at that time.
The committee comprises of Dr. Shehu Abdullahi, who is to serve as chairman, and Joke Liman to serve as secretary. Other members include Chidi Chukuka of the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, NDIC, Bamanga Bello, head of the Special Control Unit Against Money Laundering, SCUMO, Jamila Yusuf from the Central Bank of Nigeria, and Udofia Akban Obot. The committee was given 1 month to provide necessary frameworks needed to coordinate the effective process of amendment of Section 1, Subsection 2C of the EFCC Act to expressly reflect NFIU as an autonomous unit under EFCC so as to provide legal basis or clarity on its operational independence from the EFCC. The committee is also expected to make recommendations with respect to the funding of NFIU's operations. Zainab Sani Ahmed reporting for The Eagle.
Corruption is dishonesty and illegal behavior by people in positions of trust. A public office is a public trust. Do not abuse positions of trust for private gains. Stay away from corruption. Nigeria is a great nation, and it is our responsibility to make the country greater. If you notice any act of corruption, please report to the EFCC via info@efccnigeria.org or call 09 904 4751 or 09 904 4752. You can also call 09 904 4753. This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
Thank you, Zainab Ahmad, for that lovely report. The management of the National Youth Council of Nigeria has expressed its willingness to partner with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in its bid to promote the anti-corruption initiative in Nigeria. This was disclosed when a team from the council paid a courtesy visit to the EFCC headquarters in Abuja. Rolake Odofinjolayemi is ready with a report. Over to you, Rolake.
Harua Okatahi, Director of Employment, Social Security and Skill Acquisition of the Council, said partnering with the EFCC is important in order for the Council to be able to effectively discharge its duties. He said the Council also identifies with the leadership of the Commission, especially as the tempo of the fight against corruption has increased dramatically under the current leadership.
We actually want to thank you and actually encourage you to continue doing that work you're doing. Sir, we assure you that, if not because, like our award, we don't want to preempt the court. That is why we actually put the chairman of EFCC, but we sat down within ourselves and said, no, since the court, your case is in the court, and since we are waiting for the pronouncement of the court, let us be law-abiding Nigerians. And that is why we took it back for it to be corrected, so that we will not be seen as if we are actually preempting what the court is going to say. But sir, we are sure that the court is going to rule in your favor.
Other members of the Council also acknowledged the numerous awareness and sensitization programs created by the EFCC recently and apologized for the absence of the Council's president, who he said had other pressing matters to attend to. They pledged the support of all Nigerian youths to the EFCC, as issues surrounding the confirmation of the agency's acting chairman was a clear signal of corruption fighting back, adding that the Council would resist attempts by corrupt elements to return the country to the dark days where corruption was the order of the day. The group said they will mobilize and engage other youth to rally support and promote the anti-corruption initiative under the leadership of Magu. Magu thanked the team for the visit and urged them to work with the various anti-corruption initiatives that have been established at the tertiary, secondary and primary school levels by the EFCC as a proactive measure in fighting corruption. Highlights of the occasion was the conferment of the award of Special Agent of Change, Vision 2017 to 2018 on Magu by the Youth Council.
The rate at which, if corruption was allowed to continue, there won't be us and our children will not have a place. So I want to thank you. I want to thank your management team and encourage you, sir, to continue doing the good work you've been doing. Thank you.
The National Youth Council of Nigeria is an umbrella body which represents youths across the 36 states, including FCT, with strong presence in the local government areas and numerous wards nationwide. The organization provides a platform for the advancement, mobilization and coordination of youth development and the promotion of peace, unity and tolerance. Rolake Odofinjolayemi reporting for the Eagle.
Thank you, Rolake, for that report. Next on the program, the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund, NSITF, led by Barrister Adebayo Somfon, has expressed the determination of the organization to identify with the anti-corruption drive of the EFCC. Amina Kawa completes the story.
The determination was expressed when the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund, NSITF, visited the EFCC headquarters in Abuja. Leader of the delegation, Somford, said the new management of NSITF is solely behind the EFCC in its bid to change the country for better, as change itself is inevitable. He said, in order for Nigeria to rise above the present gloomy economic crisis, Nigerians need to view problems as optimists who see opportunities in difficulties, in contrast to the pessimists who see challenges as difficulties.
We've identified the challenges. I know that I wrote to the acting chairman about some things which we would go inside and discuss later, because we also need to take some action at our end. Be that as it may, basically we are here to just lend our support and to pledge that this management, God helping us, will move NSITF to greater grounds.
Magu thanked the NSITF team for the visit and expressed EFCC's readiness to partner with the organization, noting that the anti-graft needed support in enlightening the masses on the ills of corruption. The anti-graft czar noted that other countries such as Malaysia, Singapore and Pakistan have recorded successes in the corruption fight in their respective nations and called on Nigerians to take ownership of the fight against corruption. Amina Kawa reporting for The Eagle.
Corruption is a cankerworm, na cankerworm. I say na cankerworm, na cankerworm. Corruption don't finish our country. Nigeria women rise up and come together, oh yeah.
Every woman come out, but we fight corruption together, oh. Every woman fall out, but we kill corruption together, oh.
Them they thief our money, send them obodo yibo. Children they suffer every day, better school in no day. Nigeria women come, oh, women from every sector, make we fight corruption, we won't kill our country. Them go collect money for light, chop the money, light we no see. Good road and good health and call, we no see. I say na cankerworm, oh, na cankerworm, oh.
Join the EFCC in its crusade to rid Nigeria of corruption. Niger, now we all know.
Thank you for staying tuned. The program is The Eagle, coming to you from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. We know of supporters club during sporting events, where you see people dressed in colors and uniforms, identifying with clubs they are supporting. But what is it with supporters in court premises? In this next report, we'll take a look at the trend of supporters club who besiege court premises in solidarity with persons indicted for corruption. Please stay tuned. They are all dressed up in uniform clothing called ashwebi, meaning family clothing in Yoruba. The culture evokes familiar resonance in the southwest of Nigeria, as no major social event or celebration could be said to be complete without it. Looking at those people, one will assume they are at a social event or political rally. Their mood is celebratory. Yes, they are celebrating, but the venue is not a campaign ground or an event center, but the hallowed premises of a courtroom. They are out to celebrate someone they called our hero. And guess who this hero is? An accused person who has been charged to court for corruption. Corruption, as we all know, is largely responsible for almost all the problems Nigeria faces today. Inadequate funding of education, dilapidated healthcare facilities, bad governance, epileptic electricity supply, inadequate water supply, bad roads, and a host of others. Mindful of this, government took steps to put in place measures to check corruption. One of such measures was the creation of agencies to wage war against the menace. Agencies like the EFCC, the Code of Conduct Bureau, and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) were set up over a decade ago to tackle the malaise. In 2007, the EFCC arrested some former state governors over allegations of corruption. While everyone awaited the arrival of the accused persons in court, luxury buses filled with supporters wearing same-colored Nigerian waxes known as Ankara drove into the court premises. Everyone watched in profound amazement as they alighted from the bus, with a bold picture of one of the accused persons printed on the Ankara material they all wore. As if that was not enough, they immediately formed themselves into lines, unfolding some sort of colored cardboard papers rolled in their hands.
Solidarity forever.
The gentlemen of the press, we the people, the good people of Edo State, we are here today in solidarity, in support of our governor, the man that has taken this state from a terrible state of decadent paralysis when the military left us. Now it has earlier been tried, and we are not opposing the rule of law in this country, but the justice, the judiciary must take us. Yes. And we are here to show our solidarity for our governor. Yes. Governor Lucky Nusaka Igbiledion. Yes. And we are behind him, Conshine. Yes. At any moment of the day, we are with him. Yes. And we are using this one to tell the people of Edo State that this is injustice.
These messages were not sufficient for the crowd that witnessed the first arraignment of James Ibori, former governor of Delta State, before a federal high court in Kaduna in 2007. His supporters pulled down the walls of the court, all in the name of praise singing. So one begins to wonder, what has gone wrong with our people? What messages are these people sending to law enforcement and the international community?
What's unfortunate is lack of education about how corruption touches them. Because, look, it's not just about people stealing, it's what the economists call opportunity cost. Imagine what that money could do for you. We are complaining that the education system has collapsed. And it's probably true. We are talking about health services collapse. Yeah, that's probably true. Look at the infrastructures of this country. Now, so corruption is not separate from this. It's the money that will be used for these purposes which will benefit. That's the opportunity cost. That's what the economists say. So that's why education is key. You have to let people know, listen, it's not about this individual that is from a community. When there's poverty, does it discriminate against Hausa, Yoruba, or Igbo poverty? When you go to the hospital and there are no drugs, or the doctors are not there, or no facility, does it discriminate against people based on tribe or community? Okay? If you cannot get to where you are supposed to get to, or accident or due to bad, does it discriminate? So
could poverty have triggered a sense of loss of value in our people? Or are we losing our moral values?
Today, the institution of family has broken down. Respect for elders and constituted authority that used to be a cardinal principle in our society is now at its lowest ebb. Honesty, where it does not pay, has become meaningless. Symptoms of revolt loom large in the horizon. In short, today there is meaninglessness in philosophy, insecurity in politics, immorality in society, chaos in politics, corruption in economy, and even frustration in art, a lack of creativity in literature.
The government has to do something about it because, like they say, when the fish starts to rot, it begins from the head. Also, it's the same thing when change comes, I mean real change, when it comes, it starts from the leadership. With good leadership and with sincerity of purpose, corruption will be wiped out.
The way forward is to be sincere within ourselves. Be a good Nigerian, patriotic Nigerian. If you are a good Nigerian, wherever you are served.
I think it has to do with our value system. Our value system. Each and everybody, corruption is a personal fight. You just have to decide, I won't do it. It is not until someone monitors. Even if you are monitored, you can evade it. But if you make a personal decision in your heart that I decide not to be corrupt, I think you can scale through.
The only way forward is we should live within our means. We should not be eager to acquire everything.
Corruption is a monster that is eating deep into the fabrics of our society. Are we celebrating these people or supporting corruption? Are the handouts given to the rented crowd enough to solve their problems? These are questions that we all must think deeply about if we are serious about fighting corruption. But hope is not lost completely, as we have others who believe that whoever goes against the law should be made to face the full wrath of the law. This was evident at the arraignment of some alleged pension fraud suspects, where pensioners trooped into the court premises chanting support for the war against corruption and asking for justice. I wish many Nigerians will give their support to the war against graft so Nigeria can be cleansed of corruption.
There is victory for us in the struggle for our lives. There is victory for us forward ever, backward never.
Corruption is a cankerworm, na cankerworm. I say na cankerworm, na cankerworm. Corruption don't finish our country. Nigeria women rise up and come together, oh yeah.
Every woman come out, but we fight corruption together, oh. Every woman fall out, but we kill corruption together, oh.
Them they thief our money, send them obodo yibo. Children they suffer every day, better school in no day. Nigeria women come, oh. Women from every sector, make we fight corruption, we won't kill our country. Them go collect money for light, chop the money, light we no see. Good road and good health and call, we no see. I said na cankerworm, oh, na cankerworm, oh.
Join the EFCC in its crusade to rid Nigeria of corruption. Naija, now we all know.
And with that special report, we'll call it a day on today's edition of the program. But before we go, let's take a look at some of our top stories today. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission inaugurated a committee to reposition the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit.
The Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund (NSITF) pledges support for the EFCC, just as Nigerian youth threw their weight behind Magu-led EFCC.
That's it on our package today. Please join us again next week for another interesting edition. Don't forget to join us on our social media portals at Official EFCC across all the social media platforms.
You can also send your comments to the Eagle at efccnigeria.org, and if you have missed any part of this program, log on to youtube.com/Official EFCC. My name is Aisha Muhammad. Thank you for watching.
And I am Aisha Gambari. See you same time and on same station next week. Bye-bye.